Hello world! WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So this episode, what we're going to work on is actually getting this quarry operational in the fact that, well, we kind of need to code it. That's the only problem with these frame quarries, they kind of need a bit of code. So let's see what we can actually do, and we're going to have to first tell each wire and which ones are required, if that makes any sense. So let's look. The white wire, which is the one we should probably do first, it is controlling the engine that is going in the negative Z direction. So we're going to need to program minus Z in first. But first, what we'll need to do is actually add a variable called delay. Let's do delay or S delay. Call it S delay for small delay. The reason we want this is because we don't know the time between engine pulses between the primary and secondary we're going to need. So we need to fire the primary one, turn it off, then after a short time turn on the secondary one. So I think it's 4 ticks in between turning it on and turning it off. So we're going to probably have to text that. Let's do variable m delay for the medium delay. So this is the delay in between turning it on and turning it off, the signal. So let's see, for plus x, we'll make a new word called minus z since it's in the minus z direction, and we'll put it lowercase. Minus z. First we're going to need to turn on the wire, and one is white. So we turn it on, and after m delay, after that many ticks we turn it off. Okay. Then what we need to do is for S delay, we wait, turn the same wire on again, turn it on, then once again M delay at ticks, blah, and one IOX reset. And there's probably going to be a delay after this later, but we're going to have to see if this works. So we got minus Z. When it's done, it'll move towards me. But let's add some initial delays. So to be fair, let's put 10 for both of them. Then we can ramp them down. Okay, so when we do minus Z, it should work. Good. And it should be able to do a... What the? Should be able to do it again. Good. Moved again, at least. Now, is it reset? No, it isn't. What? Huh. Maybe this thing is a little bad. Okay, as you can see, it didn't work, what we were doing, so that's a problem. We're going to have to figure out what the problem is, and just now that I'm thinking of it, we should probably put some frames for us to stand on so we don't have to continually move our platform, since I think wasting all this smooth stone is not in our best interest. So let's put it here, and we'll take this out of the way. And we might want to put a few extra little bits so that every single direction will be okay. So that doesn't work, we're going to have to do my set again. So obviously the delay is faulty, somehow. Just going to have to figure out how, and also reset the engine that is currently on over here. Sorry, wrong one. There we go. So which delay would it be? M delay? Probably S delay. Let's put S delay as a bit bigger if we actually type it out well. S delay, set it as 20. So when we do minus Z, should reset, but it didn't. What is the reasoning for that? Now I saw the wire, this thing, it looked like it was on for quite a bit. Maybe if we had a light showing what it is doing, might work. No, we don't have any way to do that. Let's try my set again. Okay, this is definitely a problem that we're going to have to figure out doing. So I'm pretty sure it's a timing issue. I'm hoping that's the case, because if it's not, it's going to be a little difficult, so to speak. So I'm going to work a bit on the timing, see if there's anything we can do, because it'd be a real shame if I have to redesign this entire engine. And we're missing one right there. Wonder how that happened. Okay, be right back. As if. I rewrote the word, because if you look up at the original one, it says at S delay at tick. Now, I checked the stack up there below before I rewrote the word, and it pretty much said, well, tick waits for one single tick, whereas ticks waits for multiple ticks. So by doing tick, it didn't read in the number properly, and thus we were screwed. So I reset it, and what should happen is that I have mDelay as set for 16 ticks. We might need to change that to a better number. Let's put it back to 4. So mDelay is 4, and our S delay is currently at 50, so 2.5 seconds. So let's check -Z. And it should after 2.5 seconds. Okay, good. Now let's tweak mDelay first to see if a smaller amount will work. Yep, 3 works. Now will 2 work? I think 2 is the last change I can do. -Z. Okay, 2 does not work, therefore we have to do 3. So now we have mDelay. Now we have to tweak S delay. I think we can try 16 first. That's more than enough. Let's try... Do we even need any? Yes, obviously that's the case. So 4? Or is it the same as the other one, requiring 3 ticks to work? Let's try 3. And my Z, it should move twice. Well, obviously it's not going to move twice, but... Let's see. It is obviously going to need a delay, so the main thing is whether the computer lags, so to speak, when it is like this. So -Z, it didn't move back, so 4 is not a good one. Now, each and every single movement of a motor, it obviously, as you can see, it's not instantaneous, the movements that it's doing. When it moves, it requires 0.8 seconds to complete a movement. So if the computer doesn't lag, so to speak, because when the computer moves, it actually gets turned to like a crate, so supposedly the computer can't compute while it's in movement, but if it can't compute while it's in movement, then we should be able, then it'll require a wait between movements of 0.8 seconds to allow any movements to happen. So let's try -Z with 16. 16 is still too short, so we're going to need to reset it. So let's see, will 20 work? We had 20 working before, did we not? I'm changing mDelay. I should be changing S delay. Derp. I'll quickly change that. Note to self, when we actually write our main program, change it so that we can actually easily discern between the delay names. Okay, so 3 for our S delay works. Does 2 work? I said, nope, so 3 is the magic number again. S delay. So if 3 is the magic number, then we can, all that we need to do is just put 3 for M delay and S delay, and we won't actually need to put anything. So let's reboot our computer. And also we shall make a floppy disk so that we can save our progress. We'll need to get 7 pieces of wooden planks and 1 piece of iron, and we'll be able to save our stuff once everything is done. So there we go, and we should be good. So let's continue a bit of our work. And it's booted up. Now neither M delay nor S delay nor -Z has been saved, so I think I'm gonna add another variable called move delay. So like that. Or is that even, is there any point doing something like that? Move delay, okay. So this will be the delay between complete movements. So let's write out -Z once again. And this time we'll do 3 ticks per. And at the very end, all we're going to need to do is do move delay at ticks. This movement delay we'll use to, basically the movement delay will be used between movements. So when we do -Z twice in a row, it'll need to have some sort of delay in between movements to make sure that that engine over there has had time to completely reset. I'm thinking, since it takes 0.8 seconds in total, it'll take 16 ticks, because, as you may know, every second has 20 ticks in it. At least in this it does. So let's do -Z. I said let's do -Z. Thank you, sir. You are too kind. Ooh, another thing that we forgot to add, which we need to do, is a coordinate system. So we need to add some variables for our current X, current Y, and current Z, as is our custom. So let's add variable current X. Yeah. Or do we want lowercase? Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. So we're going to need to rewrite our movement delay, or dot Z, negative Z, I'm losing it. Negative Z, so that it uses negative Z, and after that it will decrement current Z by 1. So -1 current Z, since it's going in the negative Z direction, we'll want to decrement it by 1. The -1 current.Z plus exclamation mark, what it basically does is, well, takes -1 and adds it to current.Z. There we go. So now we have to get a good, what's the command? Is it 20 times? 20 times -Z, or is it -Z 20 times? 20 times -Z, I think it is. We'll try doing -Z a bunch of times, but first we need to add a delay to move delay. I've never actually used times before, so we'll have to see if it works. So 2 times -Z. Okay, it moves twice. That's good. So now let's go up and check once we do that, after a bit of a delay, whether it resets in time. So we're going to need another frame here so that we don't get stuck off. So minus Z after 20 or 40 ticks. Give ourselves some time. Okay, moved. Okay, we have more than enough time. We can probably dump at least our 20 to 16, but let's try 14. Probably with that we can do just once more, but I think 13 is all that I feel comfortable with. So once again, we'll check this the last time. Good. Okay, now let's check what our current Z is. Minus 8. And how many movements did we do since we added that in? 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, good. That minus 8 is what we needed. So it seems like we're in good form currently. Obviously, these extra frames are going to hinder its progress, but oh well. So since we got the minus Z in, we're going to need to add then the plus Z. So let's see what wire is required for plus Z movement. Excuse me, fine sir. Thank you. It looks like plus Z is going to require our magenta wire. So let's see our wires. Our wires, as you know, it increases by a multiple of 2 as it progresses. So 1, 2, 4. So magenta is represented by the number 4. Let's button this back up and program this in. So instead of minus Z, we'll do plus Z now. Plus Z. So 4 IOX set, 3 ticks, 4 IOX reset, 3 ticks, 4 IOX set, 3 ticks, 4 IOX reset, move, delay, got it? Yeah. At ticks, and finally 1 current dot Z plus exclamation mark. And with any luck, I should be able to do 8, or let's do 10 times plus Z. Seems like our delay is a little too short. So our 13 is a little too uncomfortable. Duh. Huh. I'm not sure the reasoning of why it doesn't reset necessarily right away. Why the positive Z direction is having such trouble when the negative Z direction doesn't. Is there a problem in our delays? Did we do tick again? IOX set, IOX reset, IOX set, IOX reset. Let's go with a safe 20 again. And 10 times positive Z. It's not moving it right. I'm not sure why that is. The secondary engine is not driving right away. So either there's a problem with the delays, which means that we need to once again edit the delays. It's just not working, or it wasn't in the right position. If that's the case, if it is a problem with the delays, that means we are going to have to, instead of having 3 ticks, we're going to have to change it so that once again it is a variable number of ticks. So you guys don't need to see that process. It's going to be easy. So between the IOX reset and the IOX set, we're going to need to change 3 ticks to a variable number of ticks. That should be an easy enough thing to do. So I'll just show you after I get those two movements done. But I don't see why the 10 times minus Z works. I'll be right back. I just don't know what's up. For some reason, this engine works perfectly, but even when the delay is set to 10 for this one, it's very intermittent. Almost like it doesn't sense that the redstone energy is connecting to it. I'm not sure why that is, though. There might be a glitch in red power that's not allowing it to sense the red power signal all the time. But even when I do 10 times, I'll just show you on what happens. Hey, let me move, thanks. Let's do 10 times positive Z. And my cap locks is on. Dang it. 1 movement, then it sticks. 2, then for some reason it works. 6, only 7 now, and it's completed 8 movements, and 8 is where it's finishes. So instead of doing the 10 that we requested it for it to do, it stuck. I'm not sure why it's stuck, but it just stuck. Almost like, maybe if we set it so that we have another wire as well, it might work. Like instead of just having magenta and magenta, we have like magenta and light blue or something like that. It might work if we do something like that. We'll take the light blue out of this and put the light blue here instead to see if that does anything. So turning on the light blue afterwards instead of having to turn on the other one back. Okay, I'll code that in. So we're just going to need to change the IOX set to a different one. Okay, that seems like it's working so far. I just did 3 times. Let's try 10 times with the 10 delay still. 1 movement complete. 2, 3, 4. Seems like it's good now. So far, at least. Okay, so that's at least where the other delay needs to come in. Because as you saw, that engine ran out of energy. And I don't think there's any way to keep it filled with energy unless we have... Well, this one will stay filled with energy, I can see that. This one won't. But the only way to change that is having a cable here as well so that it'll charge while it's here. But currently this motor needs the frame, so unless we want to add an entirely different frame, that's not going to work. Now what I'd actually like from LRAM is if she added some sort of way to put these wires into the frames instead of having to do all of this junk. But well, that's where our timing comes in. Obviously, it's not going to be the fastest imaginable, but if this was any bigger, we'd have a bigger problem. So we have to change our 10 delay into something a little more reasonable. Maybe a delay of 4 will work. Okay. 4 works very well. Though we're probably going to need a better delay than 4. And now it's out of power. Okay. So at least it seems we're getting somewhere instead of how we had it before. Before it just kind of sucked, but now it's actually getting somewhere. So that means we're going to have to use a lot more different types of wire. So instead of having white be the only color for our negative Z direction, we're going to have it white and orange, for instance. And we're going to have to do the same for every single other wire. I'm going to assume that's what we're going to need to do because I don't want it to be intermittent and somehow break in some other save. So instead of having 6 colored wires, 7 if we include this, we're going to have 13 in total. Yikes. So we're going to have to color all of our wires so that they're different, but that should be easy enough. So we'll just change them. This will need to be, instead of orange, it'll have to be something else. But we'll change this to orange because we can. So we got our white, orange, magenta, light blue. We're going to have to get the next 4 colors for these ones. Easy enough to do, and then we can change these ones as well. So while I replace wires, enjoy this wonderful interlude music. Heh, I'm cheap. Not gonna happen. Thankfully, I had cocoa combs, the only time I was actually happy for those little buggers. So, brown wire down, it's actually connected. That's just a annoying visual bug. Stop being bugged. Okay, there we go. And we're going to need to add our blue wire, which was the other one that we couldn't actually transmute to find the color. I'm not sure why. Maybe Coco's just a little too stubborn. But alas, so we got all of the wires that we are going to be able to do. We can, at least we have, if we look at our wires, checking wires, we have our green, red, and black ones left to find, or rather left to use, so we can add a kill switch probably here. So wire go here, kill switch go here, and we should be able to have that work. So let's put this here. And now we're going to need to add all the other directions as well as the break word. Now, I don't think it's really needed to show you those words. They're going to be exactly the same. So I'll just write them out and hopefully they work out. Maybe. Stop laughing at me. Okay, I think everything is done. We got the plus x, the minus x, the plus y, the minus y. So let's try plus x, minus x, plus z, minus z, plus y, minus y, and it should all work. So enter. There's one direction, there's the other direction. It's going back, it's going forward, up, and down. I should have put that frame a different location. Okay, so it's working. It's got everything that it needs to do, so it seems like it should be good. So now that we got the chest here and everything, the thing that we should do next is the break command. So 2048 was the latest number we used. That was for, I believe it's the blue wire? Yes, the blue wire used for the minus y direction. And the coordinate system should be working, so I shouldn't even need to look at that. All it's doing is changing the variable, for goodness sakes. So we should add our break command now. break will basically be used to break the block underneath. So we just need to activate the brown wire, which is 4096, since it's after the blue wire. So 4096. And there shouldn't be any variables used for it. So let's just set it, wait for 3 ticks, and reset it. And that should be all. So let's try that. Here. Hey, let me place it. You are not to break it yet. I don't want you breaking my toys. So a bit of a starburst pattern. And we should actually, let's for fun do minus y break, then go down and break again. Sorry, break minus y break. Okay, we consumed everything, and all 6 pieces of cobblestone should have made its way into the chest. So the quarry is operational. That's good. Now, obviously, we are going to want to add a bit more to this code. Just having it every single direction is not exactly the most fun thing in the world, but it is a start. Now, another thing I want to add is a kill switch, because what quarry would be a quarry if it can't be turned off when it needs to be? So we're going to need one more piece of dye, and we should probably move that thing a little closer to our work area, though I think we can live with where it is right now. One piece of dye, and we'll turn this to red, and this is going to be the 9192. I think that's the correct number. 9192? No, 8192. I'm gonna have to check. If only I had a calculator with me. Not gonna happen, bud. Okay, so we got our red wire. It's gonna be the kill switch once we get that done. So red wire here, and for simplicity, we'll cut one of these again so that we don't have to see those connecting oddly. There we go. And that'll be good. Everything's attached and whatnot. Go away. And we'll just have to have a kill switch there. Now, having a kill switch in the back is probably not the best. So what I think I'll do is actually use this. I'm sorry. And then have the toggle latch, which will be our kill switch, right here instead. Now, what we could do for fun is just have a lever here for now, since it will stay attached. But really, come on. Now our kill command will give basically a boolean. So whenever we type kill, it should give us the boolean of whether or not this is on. So if it's true, it'll give -1, else it'll give not -1. That's helpful. So we have to check which wires are on at this given time. So IOX at will give us which wires are on as an integer. And we have to check if 4096 is in there. And to do that, we have to do 4096 and this will give us all the wires that are in common with this and this. So and will give us the wires, so it should give us just red. So technically speaking, this is all we need to do, because and will give us 4096, and technically that's true, but I want it to return -1 because it wouldn't be fun otherwise. So -1 would be the universe. Why are you over there? People these days. Stealing my grass. Come on. I was going to use that grass for something else. So, IOX at 4096 and just 4096 equals, and this will just easily just give us a boolean of whether it's good. Then again, just doing equals will also. Let's test this. So currently kill is supposed to give a 0. Or it just didn't give one at all. Kill.s not giving us anything. Oh, derp. derp, derp, derp. And equals is supposed to use two things. So IOX at 4096 and we will need that 4096 again and equals. So now this should give us a -1. That's giving us a 0. And what will this give? 0 as well. Let me think for a moment. Facepalm. Saw it right away. It's not 4096, that's the wrong color. IOX at 8192 and 8192 equal. So we used kill a few too many times, so unfortunately that is gonna kill our memory, so to speak. So that gives us a 0, that's fine. This should give us a -1. Let me breathe, then I'll be back with you. Oh, I forgot that we did green. So let's forget kill. So when we check our words, kill shouldn't be there, though we already did it a bunch of times. So we're going to need to do forget kill to get it all wiped clean. So both of those are gone, and as I saw, it's 16384 instead. So I should have turned it to a green wire instead of a red wire, but it doesn't really matter too much, so I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. So 16384. Nope, don't want to do that. And 16384. And Big O was his name. Oh, hup. And finally, maybe this will actually work this time. Let's try it. Kill.s, giving us a -1. And giving us a 0. Good. Let's clear the stack. Now we got the kill switch. It's working. We can probably change it to a toggle latch instead. That might be for the better. We're going to actually probably need to make that toggle latch. Let's check what the toggle latch requires so we can get that done. Ooh, not going to show you what that is. And then we just need stone wafers and stone wires. That is easy enough to cook up, so let's do that quickly. Actually, we're going to need a furnace to do that, so let's do that in our domain. And we're getting a little batty, as I saw over there. And then we'll just get that ready. Here we are. We got the toggle latch, and we should be able to just substitute this and place it down. Now we are going to need to orient it, so I think this is good. So on, off, on, off. Let's see if it actually receives it. So kill dot, and it's -1, and it is receiving it, so we are safe. So this toggle latch will work, and this chest as well will work. Now we will want to change that chest to something else later. I'm thinking either a diamond chest, which is probably not good, or we can get an ender chest and hook it up so that we have a few ender chests in our base as well. Actually, that'd be a lot better because our railcraft carts currently are unoperational, so just having those there instead will be good, and we can just have an ender chest upstairs as well. Just throw our junk into it so we won't have to worry about our unfortunate possibilities. Okay, so this is good. We should be good. Another thing we should do... Where was it? Hello? I have no idea where that... There you are. Come here. You shall face the wrath of my blade. Come back. Come back. There we go. Sigh. Okay, so now that we have that all cuddly and cozy and whatnot, we'll save our disk. So we want to save this as our quarry Mach, what is it? 5? Mark, rather. Is it our 5? I'm not sure. I'm just going to put it as 5 for now, because I'm not entirely positive, and we'll take the disk and put it safe so that we have the somewhere safe rather, so we have this copy and we don't accidentally save over it, because that would kind of reek. Well, it doesn't look like we have any time left to do any of the fun stuff. I think I realized the flaw that was, well, this red power thing, in the fact that it needed 2 wires. I guess it didn't technically have enough time to turn off the magenta wire. Probably something about, well, needing to register the 4 taking longer than the 1 to get working, but I'm not too sure. Probably something to do with the inner mechanics of it, but having 2 wires is easy enough to do, and it's not like this is a huge structure that actually runs multiple quarries. That would be fun. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. I can't wait to get this done because I have some adventuring that I'd like to do. Let's just say I added a mod that will certainly make it fun. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.